Hey everybody, let's do something a little different today. We're going to take a look at one of my guitars actually. I haven't been playing this one a whole lot recently, but I figured it's time to give it a little bit of love. It is the Jackson DKMGT. These were made, they started making these around the early 2000s. This one, if I remember correctly, is 03, 04. So at the time, it had the EMG HZ pickups. I don't know what submodel they are. I think I read they were H4, but I don't know. It also has the afterburner circuit on it, which is just a 20 decibel boost. So you pull out the bottom knob and you can roll it all the way up or all the way back. Depending on which amp I'm using, sometimes I use this, sometimes I don't. With really like high gain, like the 5150, it's kind of a little too much. With something like the Randall or the lower gain amps, it works pretty well though. I don't normally crank it super high because it does add a lot of noise and kind of a fizz on the top end, but usually about a third or around a quarter to the half of the way up, again depending on the amp, works pretty well. The guitar itself, again, it's a DKMGT. I got it at Guitar Center a couple of years ago. I saw it listed for it was either $249 or $279. I don't remember. With a hard shell case, and it's the DK series is made in Japan. It wasn't at the time anyway. When they switched over to the EMG 81s, I think they started making them in India or Indonesia or something. But anyway, it was made in Japan for $280, and it looked practically brand new. So I'm like, can't go wrong with that. I do have the little fuzz in here, or the foam, to kind of stop the resonance, because it does resonate pretty badly. I did do some upgrades to it. I put new locking tuners on it. They're Tone Ninja, I believe. I got them on Reverb. They're pretty solid. And they have this gunmetal gray color, which matched this, the bridge I got, which is the Tusk. The bridge with I can't think of the name. The Tusks, whatever the Tusk is, with the saddles that have the graphite or whatever in them. But that's really all I've done to it, other than I put a Tusk nut on it too, just because the strings held tune pretty good, but the G string sometimes would kind of go out of tune, so it just made sense for me to put that on there. It was a little bit tough because of this, because of the reverse headstock. This string's got a lot of tension on it, so it was, to get it glued in there, I really had to kind of work at it and use some super glue, because it was this string just kept pulling it loose. But eventually I got it. It plays well, as good as any of my other guitars. 24 frets, got the little mini shark fin inlays on it. Other than that, it's your standard guitar. I don't know what the body is, basswood or alder, who knows. But I actually kind of like the EMG HZ pickups. They're not as good as the Duncans, but with the afterburner, they can get some pretty good tones, and they're good for heavier music. And they're not as high output as the other ones I have, the other pickups in my other guitars, but they do work well with certain amps. Other amps, they don't. They're a little darker. They don't have quite as much bite, but depending on what you're playing, they can work really well. Today I'll be just kind of going through some basic tones, nothing too crazy, with the Marshall here, the DSL 100H. I'll do some cleans, a little bit of crunch on that channel, and then some overdrive, and then I'll hit it with the Boss like I like to do. But here, we'll just start. Again, everything's kind of where I like it. Let's see. Bass around 6, middle around 3.5, 4, treble about 6. The volumes are around 2 on each channel. On the overdrive channel, it's around 2. On the classic gain channel, it's around 6. But again, these are lower output pickups, and I'm just using that for clean. The mic is the Sennheiser E609 there on the Mesa Black Shadow MC90. I just did a trade with a guy, actually. I traded him some pickups. He had a 82 Rolla G1280, so I cannot wait to get that, because that's going to go in the top spot of that cabinet. Those are like my favorite speakers ever, and they're not easy to come by. Anyway, we'll get started here. So here's your basic clean. Sounds great, very clean, just totally usable tone. That's the bridge pickup. We'll try the middle pickups here. Sounds good. And now we'll go to the neck pickup. So it does cleans very well. I'm not going to use the afterburner with that because all it's going to do is increase the volume. But I'll hit the back this gain off a little bit, and I'll push the back the volume off a bit. Push the gain up pretty high. You can kind of hear the crunch tone. I'll just use the bridge pickup. No reason to use the neck pickup. Typical Marshall crunch. That's it with the boost though, just for fun. We'll use the Boss here. So does all the early 80s sounds like you would want it to. But we're done with the clean stuff now, so I'm going to move over to the crunch channel and just do a little quick playthrough on that. I'll go through the pickups a little bit, mostly probably just the neck and the bridge. Really in high gain, you're not going to get a whole lot out of the the combined position, but we'll see what we get here. And in a little bit, let's take a look at the booster. So right now the gain on the amp is around 5. I just have lead 1 on. So let's see. I'll pull up the booster knob, put it to about 1/4. About 1/2. And all the way. So it definitely can add a whole lot if you don't have it like an overdrive. It's built-in one basically, but it's a clean boost as far as I know. It's not like a mid boost, so it will push the bass more too and give you that kind of flubby sound if you don't have something cutting that before it. But I'm gonna leave it, I think, around about 1/4. That kind of brings these pickups out to I don't know this for sure, but to me, to my ears, it kind of matches what my JB's output is like, so that's usually where I kind of keep it. So we'll do that and just kind of play some stuff here. So, good for any kind of gain tones you want, really. But I'm going to bump this. Actually, let's keep it right where it's at. And I'm going to hit it with the Boss Super Overdrive. Again, set typical way. Volume max, gain off. Tone right past the middle. And that is that. Great guitar. If you guys ever find these out in the wild for a solid price, again, they're made in Japan. It's got the binding on the neck here, which is really nice. I don't think it's not glow in the dark or anything like that, but I had years ago one of the ones with a Floyd. I sold it for whatever reason, just gear, gas, whatever. But yeah, they're solid guitars. Usually they seem to be around the $500 mark, $5 to $6. I've seen them as low as $3, $4. If you find them in that price range, they're definitely worth picking up. They solidly built, stay in tune well, and you just can't go wrong. It's a Jackson. It's metal. So, all right. See you guys.